Hey mom, today I traveled from Chiang Mai to Lampang. On the surface, it was a simple act of transit. A car ride to the station, a train across the countryside, and a song tao carrying me from the Lampang station into the city center. Yet what seemed like ordinary movement revealed itself to be a quiet meditation on how life itself unfolds. Beneath the hum of engines and the rhythm of wheels, I encountered lessons on preparation, simplicity, and continuity. Three elements that don't merely shape a single journey, but touch the very structure of existence. Preparation is where every journey truly begins. Long before the first step is taken, the gear I carried was more than a set of objects. It was foresight made tangible. Each item represented a choice, an intention, and a way of shaping the conditions of the road ahead. To prepare well is to acknowledge that the future has demands, that the unknown will test us, and that honoring the journey requires forethought. Preparation doesn't remove uncertainty. No amount of planning can do that. But it softens the edges of chaos. It transforms surprise into something we can meet with steadiness rather than fear. In this sense, preparation is an invisible architecture. We don't notice it when it's strong, but when it's absent, the entire structure of the day wobbles. Yet preparation, if left unchecked, can turn into excess. This is why preparation must be balanced with simplicity. Simplicity is the art of letting go, of trusting that we're already enough without every conceivable tool or possession. Today, moving through car, train, and song tao, I noticed that ease did not come from having more, it came from carrying less. With fewer objects to guard and fewer distractions to manage, my attention could widen. I could notice the shifting landscapes outside the train window, the subtle choreography of strangers boarding and departing, and the peculiar intimacy of sharing space with strangers whose lives intersect with mine for only a brief stretch of track. Simplicity doesn't narrow our world, it expands it by freeing us to engage with what is present. And then, running beneath both preparation and simplicity, there's continuity. On the surface, today's journey was broken into fragments. Different vehicles, different drivers, different rhythms. Yet I never felt the thread of the journey dissolve. Each transition flowed into the next, like beads strung together on the same line. Continuity is the hidden truth of both travel and life. We change environments, careers, relationships, even versions of ourselves. And from the outside, these changes may appear as ruptures, as endings followed by beginnings. But if we look deeper, we find a continuity running beneath them all. The child doesn't vanish when adulthood begins. Student doesn't disappear when the teacher emerges. One identity flows quietly into another, each stage carrying the imprint of the last. Life is not a chain of disconnected journeys. It's one long passage, uninterrupted, carried forward by a single unbroken current. Seen together, preparation, simplicity, and continuity form a triad of wisdom. Preparation teaches us how to begin with care. Simplicity teaches us how to move with freedom. Continuity teaches us how to trust in the unbroken thread of our unfolding. When combined, they transform transit from a series of logistical hurdles into a living metaphor for existence. And when we begin to see it this way, even the simplest ride from one town to another becomes a lesson, a meditation, and a reminder that we're always already on the way. That's why Lampang is the perfect place to experience this lesson.